back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Kun Fai and Golf. And of course, Kun Chain is on the line with us right now. สวัสดีค่ะ Kun Chain
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับคุณฝ้ายสวัสดีครับคุณกอล์ฟ
Yes, Kun Chain. So we mentioned earlier before we going on to a break saying that you will provide us a little bit more information in terms of the whole DSI case as well as Kun Apisit situation where Kun Apisit and Kun Suthep Theersuban has to go in and talk a little bit to the DSI. Could you please provide us a little bit more details into the case?
Yes, okay. Thank you, Kapun Gop, for the question. Well, the DSI or the Department of Special Investigation submitted reports to the Office of the General Attorney or the OAG, accusing former Prime Minister Apisit Wetchachiwa and his then deputy Suthep Theersuban for premeditated murder and attempted murder in connection with the crackdown on red shirt protesters in April to May 2010, which of course the two deny all charges, and they said that they will also submit a letter to the OAG to ask for justice and to question the DSI legitimacy in doing this case, or to question the DSI jurisdiction, like you just said in the previous break. First of all, you may ask why DSI is doing this case, and why the DSI has always been in the front page, working on well-known cases such as the tax dodging supercars.
Right.
This department is founded 11 years ago, actually.
Okay, that's long.
To be a unit responsible to cases that are relevant to new technology or innovations that ordinary police units may not have enough expertise to investigate appropriately. And it is said in the main page of its website that the DSI takes care of the Thai people's happiness with the rule of law. However, for some people, the DSI may be looked as a political tool to make your opponent look bad, but I quite disagree. But some people believe in this way because even though the DSI has been founded for a bit quite of time, but we just have heard of this unit for maybe just a few or 4 years ago. But if we would try to be positive, we may conclude that the DSI works on various well-known cases and sometimes on public figures or influential politicians like Kun Apisit and Kun Suthep in this case, because it is the unit that will help the justice system works. As the rule of law itself means everyone must be treated equally before the law.
Right.
So, in general, no matter who you are or how influential you are, you cannot commit crimes and get away with it.
Which is good.
For the case of Kun Apisit and Kun Suthep, I would say that it is very difficult for people responsible for crisis management to always think straight because their job is to make decisions in time.
Right, based on the information that they have at the time.
Yes, and within a very nick of time and given circumstances, it is possible to make not so good decisions and even mistakes. That's why we have policy evaluation process for the policymakers to see if they are properly fixing the problems.
Right. So just asking very quickly here, do you think that perhaps this particular case, when we talk about DSI and the decision at the time, maybe it would have been a little bit more different if they act before it's escalating into that particular level? What do you think about that? Hard to say, huh?
Actually, I would say that Kun Apisit and Kun Suthep made decisions as the heads of the Center for Resolution of Emergency Situation, or the CRES, or other Thai people know it as SOCH, which is an organization supervising for security during the red shirt protest in May 2010. It was like a civil war, if you can still remember.
It's a special unit set up to tackle with the red shirt protests
Yes.
specifically. I've got one
Yes.
more question about the working process of DSI, excuse me. How much the DSI could be interfere in its process of investigation? Because if you remember, just last week, a group of family of the relatives who got killed in the blackmail incident had submitted a letter and asking for the government to change hands from the DSI to other unit to inspect this, because they say that they had not speed up the investigation quickly enough. So how much it could be interfered from politics per se?
Well, I think it might have. It's also about a procedure of investigation and how much you can do in political area.
Yeah, I think that's
But
a great
I
area.
think this is why people see DSI. Some people see DSI as political too.
Right.
Do you agree
but-
with them? Do you think they are political tools? Okay.
Actually, Kun Apisit in the past January gave interview to Bloomberg that all the events back in May 2010 were like accident, and he hardly gave permission to the military to actually use forces with the people to end these brutal events.
Okay.
If you still remember the incident, did I say it was like a civil war?
Right.
There was a burn down of Central World department store along with some part of Paragon department store, and there were many civilian militant groups which armed with many kinds of weapons, range from stick,
Right.
a stick, to hard war equipment.
Right.
So it was not very peaceful.
Exactly.
And the CRES decided to crack down the movement in order to secure the city and to normalize the situations and to secure the way of life of Bangkokians.
So maybe those are collateral
in the open,
damage?
in this kind of protests that are not very peaceful, it is very common to have lots of casualties and collateral damages.
Right.
So that's why now in Thailand we have defiance insurance that covers many expected scenarios. But for this particular case, we have to wait and see how it will end in August. Because the prosecution will be issue a decision on whether to indict Kun Suthep and Kun Apisit on August 26th at 10 a.m.
Okay, so we're gonna still have to wait and see, right, on this particular case.
Right, but I think the point I would like to make is that every government can make mistake. For example, this particular current government of Kun Yingluck Shinawat administration is now adjusting their rice pledging scheme, which is highly problematic. And the flood and water management project is being questioned by many as well.
Okay, so far as the court have not ruled out yet who shot and killed the protesters, we cannot rule out, we cannot pinpoint what happened.
Exactly. So we can't really say yes, he's wrong, or no, he isn't.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have to wait and see. Well, thank you
Okay.
very much, Ka Kun Chain, for those information.
ครับ thank you ครับคุณ
ค่ะ
ไทยคุณก๊อฟ
สวัสดี
สวัสดี
ค่ะ
ค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
And of course, that Kun Chain giving us a little bit more information in terms of DSI. And as we mentioned before, it's really confusing because we don't really know. It's very gray area whether or not this could be used as a political tool. Because obviously DSI would have to still work with the government, and government changes hands.
Right.
Therefore, sometimes they are seen as being used according to each of the government's preferences.
We
so
still
on and so
have to wait for more revelations from the DSI investigation procedure and so on. So that would be the conclusion of this edition of Morning
Yes.
Thailand. Be sure to stay tuned for
a
MCOT
rerun.
World.
Yeah, we have a rerun at 10 too. So if any of you cannot get up at 6, I understand, we understand. So, from 6 to 7, that's a live. And of course, we rerun again at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Or you can visit our Facebook,
Right.
facebook.com/morningthailand. and please send us your comments on morningthailandshow@gmail.com. And for our lovely clothing today, thank you CCOO. I'm Wanasan Kirahong.
อนันทนันท์นภัสน้อยเวียง
สวัสดีค่ะ